Hello everyone, welcome to Online Watch OLW. This is your Sapthagiri. So today we are going to discuss about the classification of animal kingdom. So do you know the meaning of classification and how many of you know the meaning of classification? If you know the meaning of classification, just comment here. Yeah, and why we are simply waiting for that concept. Just move into the concept. So today we are going to discuss about the classification of animal kingdom. So first of all, why we are classifying the animals and what is the use and what is the purpose? So simply the answer is very simple. For the easy identification of animals, scientists are classifying the animal kingdom. Simply scientists are classified the animal kingdom. So they are classifying the animal kingdom based on the simply the following things. They are domain, kingdom, class, species, genus and phylum. So based upon the class, phylum, genus, species, kingdom and following things, so the animal kingdom is classified into the following types. Okay, so before going to know about the classification, so first of all we are going to know what are the different kind of classes are classified by the scientist into the animal kingdom. So in that animal kingdom, so the first classification of animal kingdom is here the porifera. The first classification is porifera and the second classification is here coelenterata and third classification is platyhelminthes and the fourth classification is here nematoda and the fifth classification is annelida and the sixth classification is arthropoda and here seventh classification is mollusca and the next one echinodermata and the next one protochordata and the next one chordata. These are the different kinds of classification of a animal kingdom. So first of all we are going to know about the porifera. So porifera is the first classification of a animal kingdom. Coming to the porifera, the meaning of porifera means is simply the body is completely filled up with the holes. So the porifera body is looks like a simply holes. The body simply looks like a holes, and why that holes? Simply why the holes is in the porifera body? So here simply porifera. Porifera means here simply the body is completely filled up with the holes. So here one question: why holes are there? Simply the holes are used for the canal system. So how many of you know the meaning of canal system? Simply, so canal system is also one type of a circulatory system or circulation system in the classification of an animal kingdom, and that goes to the porifera. So the body is filled up with the whole cavity, means that is simply all about the holes, and here the canal system is present in the porifera. That is especially we are looking at sponges, canal system in sponges. So thus canal system means it's a circulatory system. Okay, so here the example of the porifera is here, that is simply spongilla. The example of porifera is simply spongilla, and here simply the body is completely made up of spicules, and simply that is spines. The body is simply made up of spicules or spicules, and it's useful for the protection of themselves from the another animal. It is one of the habitation in the porifera. So here the example of porifera is simply spongilla. The example of porifera is spongilla. This is about the porifera. That is one of the first classification in our animal kingdom. Okay, the second classification in animal kingdom is simply that is about the coelenterata. So the second classification in animals are coelenterata. So coelentrates are most of aquatic forms. So here aquatic forms means they are living in, simply they are living in the water. They are leading their life in the water. They are leading their life in the water. So here these are the gastrovascular system is present. One of the characteristic in coelentrates are the gastrovascular system is present in the coelentrates, and these are also called as the coelentrates are also simply in coelentrates they say body is made up of two layers. So here coelentrates are most advanced development when we are comparing with the poriferas. In the coelentrates the body is made up of two layers. Those two layers are outer layer and inner layer. These two layers are helpful for their locomotion in water. Okay, so simply these coelentrates are leading their lives in the colonial forms. Do you know the meaning of colonial forms? Yeah, I am here, don't fear. So here simply colonial forms means they are living in a colonies. A group of organisms are combined together and forms a colonies, and those are called as colonial forms. So one of the best example of a colonial forms is simply jellyfishes. So here jellyfishes. So how many of you are observing jellyfishes movement? Yes or no? So simply they are moving like, so they are moving like this. When you are observing marine water directly or indirectly through Nat Geo channel is there na. So when you are observing Nat Geo channel, so in that, so these jellyfish are they are forms like a group, and they are moving like this. This movement is there, and simply they are a group of a bunch of jellyfish are form like a colonies, and they are moving from one place to another place. So why they are behaving like this and why they are being like this colonial forms means simply the protection. They are protecting from the predators. That's why they are leading the colonial forms. This is about the coelentrates, and one of the second classification in the animal kingdom. Okay, and next we are going to the third one, that is the platyhelminthes. Okay, so platyhelminthes. So this platyhelminthes is the one of the classification in the animal kingdom. So here they are showing triploblastic characteristic. So do you know the meaning of triploblastic? Yeah, triploblastic means simply they are made up of three cells. They are made up of three cells. That is simply they are ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These three are combined together to call as the triploblastic characteristic in the platyhelminthes. So in this platyhelminthes, these are they are showing two types of characteristics. Those two types of characteristics are simply they are showing both colonial and simply and the free, in that they are when they are living in the aquatic, they are also aquatic forms, and these are showing they are both living in the free living or free moving in the water, and they are also formed like a colonies and protecting themselves from the predators. This is about the platyhelminthes. Okay, and the first one is the porifera, and the second one is coelenterata, and the third one is the platyhelminthes. And coming to the next one, that is the nematoda. So the nematodes are simply they are the parasitic forms. these nematodes are the parasitic forms. Most of they are causing the diseases. Most of these are causing diseases to other animals. That's why they are called as the parasites. So do you know the meaning of parasite? Simply, parasites are they are not gaining their food by themselves. Simply they are depending on the other animals for the food and for their leading of a life. Simply they are taking off another, they are simply sucking another's animal's body and taking food by them. They are not taking their food by themselves own, and they are depending on the other animals. Simply that is called as the dependency. Okay, and here coming to the nematodes, the body is cylindrical. The body is cylindrical and rather than the flat. So the body is they are showing one type of characteristic, and that characteristic is simply the body is cylindrical shape, or maybe simply they are showing the flattened body structure also. So the example of a nematoda is simply that is the round worms. The example of nematoda is that is the round worms. This is about the another classification of animal kingdom and the characteristic and the example of a nematoda. Okay, and the next one, annelida. Okay, so here I want to share another importance of annelida. So there is one different characteristic in annelids, that is simply the body is segmented body. In the annelids they are showing their body, like they are showing the body and they are maintaining their body in like a segmented shape, segmented cavity and segment shape. From the segmentation it starts from the head and ends at the tail. So the body is segmented. So segments like the structures, and the body segmentation starts from the simply head to the tail. For example, earthworm. So how many of you are observing the earthworm? Yeah, simply when you are simply observing the earthworm clearly, the body is segmented like structures. So simply when you are observing your fingers, so the finger is like segments na. Segment like structure is there in our fingers na. So foldings and segments. So same as like that, earthworms also looks like this. That's why they are under categorized into the annelids. Okay, and the next one is the arthropoda. So here the meaning of arthropoda is jointed legs. The meaning of the arthropoda is simply they are having the jointed body parts and jointed legs. In this body don't flows simply in their body. In the arthropodas, their blood is do not flowing in the defined blood vessels, and the body is looks like a segmented structure. Okay, so here the simple differences between the annelids and arthropodas. So annelids body is the segmented body. Annelids shows the segmented body like structures, and arthropods shows the jointed legs and jointed body like structures. For example, when you are observing the crabs, so crabs are the best examples of the arthropoda. So when you are observing the crabs, simply they are like jointed structure na. Their legs are jointed to their body, and when we are removing the legs, like when we are eating the flesh of crab, so their body is like their body is like simply jointed legs. Another example of arthropods are simply scorpion, also one of the example of arthropoda, jointed legs. So if you know more examples of arthropoda, simply comment down. And the next one is the mollusca. Simply they are showing bilateral symmetry, and their molluscans are simply their body is movement. They are having one movement, and that movement is they are advanced the advanced form of animals, and their body is moving with the help of a foot, and the muscular like structure that is forms like a foot and helpful for the movement of a body from helpful from the movement of a animal from the one place to another place. And that is the classification of animal kingdom and mollusca. They are showing the bilateral symmetry, and in this molluscans, when we are observing molluscans clearly, so here the molluscans are simply they are showing the circulatory system and excretory system. For the best example of molluscans are snails. Okay, and the next classification in the animal kingdom is simply here echinodermata. So here echinodermata. So in Greek, the meaning of echinodermata is simply in Greek. So simply their skin is simply made up of spines. So here echine means spines and dermata means skin. So in Greek, echine means spines and dermata means skin. Echinodermata. The body is simply covered and made up of a spine like structures. Why they are adopting the structure means simply they are protecting themselves from the another animals or attacking from the predators. That's why they're habituating spine like structures. They are the echinodermata. So they are simply free living organisms. And the another characteristic in echinodermata are their body is simply hard like structure. When we are touching the echinodermata, their body is completely hard, like their body looks like a hard like structure. So the example of echinodermata is starfish. Starfish. Have you observed the starfish body? So the starfish body is like hard like structure and shell like structure, and simply when we are observing deeply a starfish, the body is simply a small hard like structures. That is about the echinodermata. And the next one is the protochordata. The next classification is protochordata. And when we are discussing about the protochordata, the characteristics of the protochordata is simply they are showing the bilateral stiploblastic and have the coelom cavity like structure. Coelom means cavity like structure, and in the protochordates there chordata means a straight string like structure. The chordate means straight string like a structure, and the notochord is supportive like structure. The notochord is present in the protochordata, and there the notochord is separates the nervous. Thus the protochord is separates the nerve. The notochord separates the nervous tissues, and they are getting separate from the nervous from the tissues. And the best example of protochorda is headmania. The best example of protochorda is headmania. When we are going to next one, the next classification in the animal kingdom is simply that is the chordata. Simply the meaning of chordata is the body is having a backbone spine like structure, and that is helpful for the movement of the animals which are when we are observing the chordates, they are having the backbone and back spine like structure, and that is helpful for the movement, and they are helpful for the standing and movement firmly. That is about the chordates. And coming to the chordates are again subdivided into three types. Those are the urochordata. The first the first subdivision in the chordata is, that is the urochordata, and the second one is the cephalochordata, and third one is the chordata. So coming to the chordata, they are subdivided into three types. That is, first one is urochordata, and the second one is cephalochordata, and the third one is the chordata. This is all about the classification of animal kingdom with the examples and their characteristics. Thanks for watching.